Very good morning. I'm Dr. G. Vijay Kumar, professor from the Department of Agriculture Engineering, Sri Shanmuga College of Engineering and Technology. Today, let's have a topic on types of wells. So, wells are constructed under aquifers. So, aquifer is a geological formation where the water is stored below the soil surfaces. So, based on the type of aquifers, the type of wells are formulated and established for the storage of water. So this water can be used for the irrigation and other purposes. So let's go to the topic. So there are three major type of wells are adapted used in the agricultural purpose based on aquifer types, based on the depth of the well, based on depending upon the method of construction. So based on the aquifer, we have a different three main different type of aquifers there. One is called confined aquifer, unconfined aquifer, and semi-confined aquifer. Then based on the depth of well, shallow or surface wells. Then second one is called a deep well. Depending upon the method of construction, dug wells or open wells, driven wells, drilled wells, bore wells, and cavity deep wells. So these are all the different type of wells are used. So this picture shows the types of aquifers. As I mentioned, there are mainly three different types of aquifers are there. One is called unconfined aquifer. So it is mentioned here, and semi-confined and confined aquifers. So the geological formations consist of water table where the water table is available. So based on that, the aquifers are classified and categorized. So unconfined means there is no layers between the water table above and below. So that is what unconfined. Whereas the confined aquifer, the both strata above and below the water table are constituted with the hard rock areas. So this is what confined aquifer. But the semi-confined aquifer is known as any one strata above the water table or below the water table, that is called a semi-confined aquifer. So now finally the confined aquifer means both strata from the water table is confined. It's are put together with hard rock areas. Unconfined layer, water table above and below both are free, and semi-confined either one of the layer is confined. So this is what three type of aquifers. So from this where we are dropping the water for irrigation and other purposes is called types of formation of the groundwater. So this is what picture it shows very clearly that unconfined aquifer, confined aquifer. So based on the depth of well, so the water table is just below the surface available, then the well is known as shallow wells. When the water table source is available below the far away the surface of the soil, the depth is more, that is called a depth well, deep wells. So the deep well water will be tracked by submergible motor and pump sets. In the shallow well, the open well is also called. Then open wells are lifting the water by any kind of centrifugal or submergible pumps like that. So these are all the wells depending upon the construction. Then hand dug well, driven wells, drilled wells, bored wells. So according to the type of driving mechanism, so this type of wells are classified hand dug wells. Dug wells are driven by any augers, and drill means drill pits used. Bore means bore augers are used for bored wells. So this different technology are used for depending type of construction of the wells. So based on the construction, the water will be trapped from the aquifer, so that this will be used for agriculture and other purposes. This is called a cavity tube well. So cavity is formed below the clay layer below the surface. So we have different type of horizons are available below the surface ground, and one is called topsoil. Then layers, the layers are previous layer. Then next one is called clay layer. So just below the clay layer the water is available, that is called cavity tubules, and it is tubules is frame or constructed under the cavity. So again this is called it also discharging the water as a queue, it's as mentioned, and also it consists of sand free from fine materials. So the when the sand is available below the surface, and the water will also hold by the aquifer. So that is the concept of cavity tubules. And how the selections of well is done: nature of water bearing earth, amount of water required, cost of construction. Based on this criteria the selection of well is being carried out. Then types of geology formation of groundwaters are aquifer, aquitol, aquiclude, aquifuge. So these four different geological formation will vary from based on the types to type. One based on the properties such as water storage, permeability of water, yield of water. For example, based on the water storage, the aquifer yes, aquitol okay, aquiclude yes, and aquifuge no. There is no water storage. That is the geological formation that is called aquifuge. Permeability of water. So aquifer permeable, partially permeable is aquitol, aquiclude is the impermeable, and aquifuge also impermeable. Then yield of water, aquifer yes, but a slow yielding aquitol. Do not yield the water, aquiclude. Do not yield the aquifuge. Examples: sand or gravel for aquifer, sandy clay soil is the aquitol, clay is the aquiclude, and compact rocks such as granite, basalt, etc. are the example for the aquifuge. So this is about the groundwater and wells. Thank you.